Russia shut down U.S. watchdog tracking North Korea sanctions. Earlier in 2023, Russia's President Vladimir Putin met his North Korean counterpart Kim Jong-un. Russia has shut down a panel of UN experts that has for years monitored the sanctions against North Korea. The panel last week said it was probing reports that Russia violated rules by buying North Korea weapons like ballistic missiles for use in Ukraine. The UN's Security Council has imposed a series of sanctions on Pyongyang since 2006 for its nuclear weapons program. Those restrictions are still in force, but the expert group set up to monitor violations will now be disbanded. In the Security Council vote on Thursday, Russia used its veto power as the permanent member to block the renewal, while 13 of the other 14 member states present voted for it. China, Pyongyang's closest ally, abstained. Russia's block triggered a wave of condemnation from the US, UK, South Korea, and other Western allies, and comes after a year of high-profile public meetings between Moscow and Pyongyang leaders. This is the first time Russia has blocked the panel, which has been renewed annually by the UN Security Council for 14 years. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said on social media Russia's veto was tantamount to a guilty plea that it was using North Korean weapons in the war. The US, UK, and France all told the Council that Russia was silencing the watchdog because it had begun to report on Moscow's own violations of the rules, specifically purchasing weapons from North Korea for the battleground in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the South Korea's representatives at the UN criticized Russia's blind self-centeredness and said it had no justification for disbanding the guidance of the sanctions regime. This is almost comparable to destroying a CCTV to avoid being caught red-handed. Ambassador Hwang Jun-kook said, Russia has consistently denied using North Korean weapons, and its representative at the UN again dismissed the accusations on Thursday. Vasily Nevensia also argued that the panel of the experts had no added value. The panel has continued to focus on trivial matters that are not commensurate with the problems facing the peninsula, said Mr. Nevensia, who also added that sanctions had imposed a heavy burden on North Korean people. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un showed up each country's missiles to Russia's defense ministry on the visit last year. Since 2019, Russia and China have sought to persuade the Security Council to ease sanctions. The Security Council first imposed the sanctions in 2006 in response to North Korea's nuclear test and has since passed 10 more resolutions strengthening them as Pyongyang's nuclear activity has continued. However, Kim Jong-un's regime has largely ignored the sanctions despite their impact on the economy. The North Korean leader has rapidly continued the nuclear weapons development and has pursued a more aggressive and dangerous military strategy in recent years. The UN experts say North Korea continues to flout sanctions through increased missile test launches and developing nuclear weapons. The regime launches the spy satellite this year with technology believed to have been provided by Russia. In breach of the sanctions, it also continues to import refined petroleum product and send workers overseas, and the UN panel's most recent report detailed a campaign of the cyber attacks.